Celebrate good times. Come on. Da-da-da. Celebrate good times. Come on. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. It's Sunday night and we're at the party because it's time for Live in the Dark and it's time to celebrate good times. Come on. Da-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na. Celebrate good times. Come on. What's that? Okay. Roll credits. Guys, don't worry. Don't worry. There's not a special horse guest tonight. It's me. I was underneath the mask. See? It's me. We have a really great show for you tonight. Welcome to Live in the Dark with Videodrew. I am Videodrew. And join with me always, we're going to have my co-host, Danny. Hello, Danny. Bring him on.
Hello, V. What is in your head?
It's a horse. You don't have any problems with horses, as far as I know canonically.
Why do you have BoJack Horseman on your head?
It's not BoJack Horseman. It's a unicorn.
Oh, yeah.
In a blue moon, am I this happy, Danny? Danny, I'm super happy.
Yeah, what happened?
Not that big of a deal. I just had a really nice weekend. I rested up. I slept, and oh yeah, we have a new president, and that's really cool.
Oh yes, yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so you might have heard we celebrated. We had the Star Wars double up theme going on across the country, across the world. I'm not sure if you saw that on Instagram, but
like the Emperor March, like the Emperor and Darth Vader.
They're gone now. They're gone forever.
Oh, the Rebels won. The Rebels won. Okay.
The Ewoks won specifically.
The Ewoks. Okay.
So I think that's a sweet opening thing. Thanks, Pete Wiz. And let's see.
He's Brazilian, by the way.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. I saw that when I was looking at his Twitter profile, like a weirdo.
I was surprised as well. He knows about the mayor elections here on my city.
Well, let's not talk politics because this is a show where we talk about movie news. And we have a lot to get through today because we also have a very special guest joining us. We have Ryan from the Let's Write podcast and Skybound joining us tonight. So before let's do that, let's talk about movie news.
I guess.
Question mark? You start.
Orphan prequel enlists Isabel Fuhrman to reprise role of Esther. Esther, an Eastern European child adopted by parents overcoming unspeakable laws of their own. Okay, that's a very clear synopsis.
And it's the movie Orphan. It's not a prequel to Orphan Black, but that was a weird movie. Anyone see Orphan? That was a weird one. It was about a young girl, so we think, getting adopted by Peter Skarsgård, and then it turns out she wasn't a young girl. She was a middle-aged, she was like a 30-something person with some sort of disease that made her look like a little girl, and it was a horror movie. It was weird. I'm not sure if I needed a prequel to it, but I guess it's sort of taking the Annabelle route. But what's weird is that Esther wasn't like a doll; she was like a human being, just like the rest of us. Hey, Rob.
Do you know who else is an orphan?
Who?
Boba Fett.
Well, wait. Yes. Not technically, because he's a clone, so he's not an orphan because he didn't have a mom.
He became an orphan on Attack of the Clones, the most underrated movie of Star Wars.
Oh my God, you're not getting this in here tonight. We're not doing this tonight, Danny. We're not going to talk about how Attack of the Clones is the most underrated Star
By
Wars
the
show.
way,
Football
did you
is
change
appropriately
your
rated.
By the way, did you change your hair?
No, there's just a horse on top of it.
Oh, okay.
Guys, it's a reminder. There's StreamYards open tonight. You can donate on Streamlabs. Yikes. Streamlabs.com/Videodrew. You can also send in via super chats. That's how we're doing things because we're celebrating good times. Okay. So yeah, that's the thing. I know what the scariest idea in the world is Eastern European children, but they're terrifying.
I heard Americans love Eastern Europe, like Russia and stuff.
Danny, I'm going to be honest with you. Most Americans can't tell you what countries are comprised of the Eastern European bloc. That's not a thing.
Brazilians don't know as well. Don't worry.
We're like Russia, maybe? Is it Russia?
I think so. Yeah, I heard of them.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see. Lon says, I have thoughts. Should we bring Lon on? Because Lon, we were going to bring this on as a special guest. But it looks like...
Am I fired again?
Let's bring him up for the news segment, guys. A little bit early. Joining us, we got the delinquent Lon Harris. Hey, Lon.
I mean, Attack of the Clones. God, of all the...
He doesn't like sand. He doesn't like sand. What's the fucking deal about that?
I mean, even Phantom Menace, I'd be like, okay, I guess there's some...
You cried when she said, don't look back. Don't look back. You cried. I know you cried.
No. In disgust. I cried in disgust.
Don't lie to the public.
No.
Breathe, Lon, breathe, says Pete. And that's a pretty good idea.
I'm breathing. I'm alive. I'm fired up about... No, I don't really care that much. It's fine.
No, nobody, Rick.
Okay.
It's not that big of a deal.
No one cares. Okay. Just kidding.
What?
Let's bring him up for the next
He's
episode.
fired already?
No. We're bringing you back on. Let's get the next piece of movie news up here because I think we're done with the orphan bit. By the way, you have any thoughts on Orphan, Lon? Orphan?
On the horror movie Orphan.
Yeah, that's the movie.
Not Boba Fett.
It was not ruined for me. Like I went into that movie cold, and I feel like I got there way before I was supposed to. So on that level. I don't know. It is a cool premise. I like where they were going with it. I just feel like, I don't know, as a movie, like you kind of get there too soon, I think.
I've never seen it, but I'm imagining, what do you mean you got there too soon? You were like, oh, she's an adult person that's pretending to be...
The twist that this is not a little girl. This is an adult who's pretending to be a little girl. Spoilers for Orphan.
Classic Wonton.
Oh, you ruined the movie.
Like, we recently watched Dead Silence, that one, and, like, that's a movie that if you figured that out, it would kind of ruin it, but it works great because you don't figure that out.
If anyone here can say that they guessed the end of Dead Silence.
No way. No way. Or Serenity with Matthew McConaughey.
I'm surprised that you already lose the horse bit.
One day Videodrew would grow a horse head, but no one believed me.
Absolutely. Rob Clark did say that one day Videodrew would grow a horse head. No one believed him. Yeah. Thank you for that donation, Rob. So we got another piece of movie news. Let's see what we got going on here. Lon, you want to take this one?
Yeah, Lon, take this one.
Christopher Walken has joined the cast of the upcoming Apple drama series Severance. Walken will star as Bert, the department head of optics and design at Lumen. I don't know what Lumen is.
Yeah, I was going to say that'd be a lot more contextual if we knew what the fuck Lumen was.
He's a department head of optics and design in a drama series from Apple. So there
Fun fact, I don't use Apple products.
And as a rule,
you're
anti-Apple.
Windows is more friendly.
Oh, here we go. It's a workplace thriller directed by and executive produced by Ben Stiller. Lumen Industries. It's a company that's looking to take work-life balance to a new level with its quote-unquote severance procedure that separates work and out-of-work memories. That's
whoa.
Adam Scott.
Whoa, what is it? Wait, that's a great concept.
Adam Scott stars as Mark, an employee with a dark past trying to put himself back together. Walken will play the department head
of optics and design.
Right. Well, but I'm
can I be honest? Those seem like two different.
Adam Scott's boss is what it sounds like.
Well, those seem like two different heads, like two different departments. Like optics is one thing, and
Heads?
design seems like it's a completely different part of it. One of those seems like a marketing job, and one of them seems like it's completely involved with the construction of this thing. But you know,
Well,
it's Christopher Walken, so
unless optics, you're taking optics to mean like PR, like the optics of this scenario, but maybe they actually mean optics. Like maybe whatever the invention is that allows them to split memories is actually a device that he designs.
maybe. Hey, guess who likes apples, Danny?
Who likes apples?
Me.
No.
Oh yeah, you have two heads now. By the way, what is the best company? Apple, Wayne Enterprises, or Stark Industries?
Well, one of them is real. So by that metric, I feel
That's not an argument. That's not an argument.
Wayne Industries has never actually sold anything because
It has Stark.
just made it up.
Okay, next prompt.
Drew, do unicorns eat apples, or is that more of a regular?
Yeah, they definitely eat apples, and mostly sadness, but also apples. I'll take this one.
They are sunshine apples.
Yeah, they also they only touch virgins, according to the movie Legend by Ridley Scott. William Jackson Harper.
I'm a virgin.
Yikes. William Jackson Harper is set to lead Love Life Season 2 at HBO Max. Season 2 will be set in New York City and focus on Harper's character as he comes out of a years-long relationship. Leading us all to, I guess, question, what was Love Life Season 1?
It was with Anna Kendrick. It was one of the launch shows for HBO Max.
Was that the one where she had a doll? Was she had a love doll?
That's Quibi, Drew. That was a Quibi show where she found her boyfriend's sex doll and then went on a road trip with it. Wow. It sounds like it might be like quirky fun. It was just really, really sad. But Love Life was okay. I watched it. The idea is it's like an anthology, and each season you follow all the relationships in a particular character's romantic life. So like each episode is like Anna Kendrick with this guy and this guy and this guy, and then she gets back together with this guy and blah, blah, blah. And then in the finale, you find out here's who she ends up with and gets married to or whatever.
Oh man, I tracked about half of that, and the other part of that I spent thinking about how upset my tummy feels, and then the other part of that I spent thinking, man, it's Chidi. Who doesn't want to see Chidi and more stuff?
So yeah, this one is going to be. It'll open with Chidi getting out of a relationship, and then over the course of the whole show, you'll watch him with a bunch of different women until he settles. Or I'm assuming it's women.
I hate that adding.
Bi or gay, but who you'll see with a bunch of different partners. And then in the end,
you know what? I don't like this premise because it involves the idea that like whoever you end up with is like the point of the story. When I don't think that's the point of like.
It's honestly, it's incredible that you said that, because if you go back and read, I reviewed this for Inside Streaming, and that was exactly what I wrote. It's like making a show like this. It falls into this very weird idea that that your life is a narrative leading you to your endpoint, which is like your special one. And it's
oh my god, everyone needs a special one.
I am special. Drew said that to me when I became a boy.
Yep, that's true. A long time ago when I made Denny into a crow, a day that I think about a lot and rue forever. I told Denny that he was a very special crow boy.
That's out of character for you. I would imagine you'd bring him into the world with a little gentle negging. Would be more like your style.
That does seem like more like I'm like, here's the universe, welcome to existence.
Oh, I guess you want to be a boy now. Cool.
Yeah. All right.
Whatever.
And that's sort of lame.
No,
do we have a more
boy?
Hey. The crow. Let me ask you something. Did crows drink malt liquor, or is that just you?
It depends on my mood and my bacon account.
Yeah, that's fair to me.
I didn't know.
Guys,
honestly, I thought malt liquor was like an American thing. I didn't even know that had made its way south of the border.
Oh, so your big question isn't whether or not he's
a lot of things came from America to Brazil.
Hey, more power to you.
One of them is ignorance of something. Some politicians' party.
Wow. All right, we're getting political again.
Okay.
Fiery South American geopolitical takes tonight, from Danny.
You can never fire me.
Okay. Do we have one more piece of movie news before we're moving on to our special guest for the evening? Let's see. No, we're not.
Screaming.
Say so we're getting one more message from Danny has been perched in the corner by Videodrew. Absolutely. Danny will drink anything that's spilled at the Parker Pier.
That's true. That's
Fun fact, Rob is actually a bar owner on Canada.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Rob is not American either. Let's see. Reese's Pieces came from Brazil.
Everybody in the chat room who's not American, we're just going to need you to identify yourselves, all right? Listen,
I need to know
still
who I can
Donald
marry.
Trump's America for 2 more months, folks. Get in line.
Guys, we do have a very special guest that we do want to introduce before this just erupts into mayhem. Just joining us, before this whole thing just erupts.
Wait, before we're done with the news, we're going to bring Ryan in anyway?
No, the news is done.
Oh,
that was
I'm sorry.
You made the three news rule.
I thought.
Yeah, I always forget how much news we've done. We have joining us from Skybound and the Let's Write podcast. It is Ryan. Hey, Ryan.
Evening. How are you?
Hello, Ryan.
It's good to see you again, Ryan. I've only heard your voice via podcast for however many months. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing all right, and I think in the world of deep fakes and visual effects technology, you still probably haven't seen me. So that's
true.
We'll leave there.
I don't even know if you actually look like that. I mean, I think at one time I did see you in the studio, but that was such a long time ago. It could have been anyone.
Oh, we don't talk about the before times anymore.
Yeah, the before when people like, does it make you feel weird when you watch movies now and people like hug or go to concerts or like do things and you're like, that's from the before time. That wouldn't happen anymore.
Just gotta whisper over to whoever you're watching with and go, you're not allowed to do that anymore.
Yeah, you have to whisper over through the face shield and be
people
like,
love that. They love it.
None of these people would be doing that right now. They'd be all back at their homes, huddled together.
I'm starting to realize that this actually worked out good for me because I didn't like to go to concerts or do things anyway. I was watching that old John Mulaney bit where he talks about how canceling plans is the equivalent of like doing heroin. Like it's the equivalent in terms of sheer relief as doing heroin. And I was like, oh yeah, that was me. That's how I felt about plans, but just from the before.
Do you feel like you would still, like, if tonight all of a sudden like Joe Biden went on TV, it was like, we did it, I got rid of it, just like bonus, just unexpected treat, and then somebody called you and was like, hey Drew, do you want to come hang out tonight? A bunch of us are going to go to a bar and celebrate. Do you feel like in that moment you would still feel like, I'd really rather not go out?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I think I would. I think I absolutely would because I'm tired and like I'm not feeling my best right now.
No,
but like
I know, like enough of me would probably want to go out that I would do it, but a part of me would still be like, God damn it! Like I put my sweats on already.
I want to go out so I can remember why I didn't want to go out in the first place. You need that reminder every once in a while.
That's for sure. Like I have some question about how much I would want to stay home, but if I did drum up the resilience to like, all right, I'm going to go out and celebrate, I guarantee within 20 minutes of getting somewhere, I would be like, I'd really rather just be home.
You know what it is? You needed to, the way you described it, Lon, I probably would go out because what I need is to not have that 24-hour, like, in advance notice, because that's as much time as it will take me to talk myself out of going out. Right. Like I'll be like, yeah, I'll show up, and then I'm like, it's like 4 p.m. and I'm feeling tired and my tummy hurts.
It's much easier to get me to hang out if you just like hit me with it and like maybe.
That's how I like to do things, spontaneous, like just real loose and goosey. That's how I like to do my plans. But Lon, are you telling me that like if I told you right now that COVID was over and I'll meet you over at what's a bar that exists? What's a bar?
Madam Satan.
You've lived here for a while.
I lived here for a while. It's been shut down this entire
what's
time.
A bar? I don't really know a bar near you. I know a lot of bars near me.
Okay. So like if you told me to meet you out there, first of all, I wouldn't have a car. Like if COVID ends, there's a lot of issues that I'm going to have to deal with.
We could go to, the Virgil.
I do know the Virgil. But we'll have to deal with a lot of issues. Like I don't have a car or anything. So I'm pretty good on this stuff. Taking a while.
Who needs cars nowadays anyway?
We could go to the Tiki Tea on Sunset.
There's a tiki bar?
What?
There's a cool little tiki bar on Sunset right near me in my neighborhood called the Tiki Tea. It's very like charming and small, like owned by this one family, and you could still smoke inside there.
Oh, I like this one
because it's owned by one family and they never hire anyone else, so they get around that law somehow by like only people who are related to them work there.
Hey,
so
Miss Green, Can you send me to
Disgusting.
this bar when I
Yeah,
go to
sure.
America?
Amazing. They've got this huge menu of like 100 different kinds of tiki drink. But it's one of the oldest tiki bars in like the West Coast. It's really great. I love it.
Well, we got a note from Ryan saying that's why I want to live in the back of a bar. That's when I want to go home. I just step into the broom closet / my bedroom. That doesn't seem the logic there seems a little. I used to live above a bar because I used to work at this place, Blue Monday in Brooklyn, and we lived above it. Me and the owner of the bar, and it just meant that every night it was very loud. Like it was always just super super loud. What about you, Ryan? Though, if things ended tonight, would you go out and go straight to a bar and start partying?
I mean, as a person who doesn't like partying, I would say no. But also the fact that you haven't let me do that for almost a full year now is kind of making me want to do that.
Yeah,
I feel
Yeah.
like anything's on the table at this point.
It doesn't. I didn't necessarily mean it to just be like a bar party. Like that was just what occurred to me. It could be any activity you would normally go, like whether it's getting coffee with friends or dinner or like playing D&D or like I'm not judgmental about your socializing.
D&D.
Yeah, lame.
A lot of people like to get together and play tabletop games, or I'm just trying to not see. It doesn't have to be like go drink. I didn't mean it that way.
I don't trip over yourself trying to get that apology.
Yeah,
out.
who thinks nowadays? Am I right?
Sorry, I'm just giving you the classic Drew negging. Now, I did want to ask Ryan.
You're doing karaoke, but on Live in the Dark.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
mixing
Did you
it up.
okay? Ryan, I want to ask you a little bit about your podcast that me and Lon have been on before. It's called the Let's Write podcast, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, I think you've been on one episode, and we have one in the can right now with Lon that we're trying to get through the editing process. But it's basically if you combine the worlds of screenwriting with fan fiction. We pretty much just on the board every episode we put up a wild idea for a movie. You know, like what if Boba Fett was in a rom-com, and then we spend the next 15-20 minutes just pitching ideas and seeing where that takes us. And we're assuming, if we just pitch enough ideas, some studio exec out there is just going to write us that $1 billion check and get one of these made. And that's kind of our strategy going forward.
Yeah, that's definitely how it works. Yeah.
So far, the ones that we've come up with, just the ones from the episodes that's out already, we've managed to come up with an amazing idea for a Godzilla movie that involves Godzilla and Adam Sandler. So I suggest you all go over and check it out. We'll put the link in the chat there for like in a hot second. But yeah, how'd you get started making this podcast?
I mean, I don't want to be too intellectual about it. I think it really starts the way that every podcast starts. We talk about these things anyways. What if we just recorded it? And then we did, and then it's a podcast. So the typical LA podcast story. But yeah, this is the sort of conversations I feel like everyone has. And we wanted to sort of take it to the next level of we have these conversations, we make up these dumb movies, but we wanted to see if we could push ourselves to do a little bit more with it. So we do the podcast, and then on the side, we also make posters of the movies. We do script snippets. We do full scripts every once in a while. We make pitch treatments. So it's just kind of a way to keep those juices running in between, actual projects that are going to be produced. Not saying our Adam Sandler Godzilla pitch isn't going to be produced. I'm hearing through the grapevine right now that the Sandman is very excited. It's just a matter of logistics. But otherwise,
it wasn't just the same. That one was great, but there was also I believe there was the Alien versus Predator as seen from the perspective of wolves or possibly the apes from Planet of the Apes wearing human mech suits. That was a good one.
I think Alien versus Predator versus Dog is a very strong pitch. And
Alien versus Predator versus Dog. I'm forgetting the third one, but I do remember our fan pitch, or the one that was just a different kind of pitch, was the presidents from the Hall of Presidents from Disney World getting their own.
Much more optimistic about that one, given the events of this week.
Yeah,
I think we're heading to a new era where maybe that's a little less prickly to touch.
Yeah, a little less. Yeah, I'm. You know what? I'm actually looking forward to being able to like make fun of our president for just being like an old, out of touch, clueless white dude again, and not just for being just rampantly evil. So that's going to be really fun.
Malarkey jokes are like, oh, that's fun. We could just tease him about using an old-timey word like malarkey. It's like, it's so innocent compared to like the Trump stuff where you're making fun of it, but just like so you don't cry, Like,
yeah.
And it's like, ha ha, he said malarkey. Oh, corn pop. It's like funny now. Like he's funny again in a dumb way instead of a horrifying way.
Yeah, really looking forward to that. And so, right, let me ask you a quick one. How'd you end up in Los Angeles? Are you a Los Angeles native, or did you come here to make it big in the world of screenwriting for fan fiction podcasts?
Oh, a burgeoning market. I really had to get on the ground floor of that one. I was actually I'm an LA native technically. I was born in Torrance, but before I was 1, they shipped me off to Virginia. So I was actually grew up in on the little bit on the southern side, and then around 4th, 5th grade, we moved back to LA. I guess the gravitational pull was a bit too much, and I've been here ever since. But I do miss it. I miss snow. I miss snow more than anything. That's something that's a little bit hard to get out here.
That's really weird. I have.
I think Florence qualifies. I think that's okay. You can say
Oh wait, Angry Bananas is here for my boy Ryan. So that's Angry Bananas here.
Oh,
Thanks.
all right.
I
I love both of those things. I love bananas and I love anger. Two of my favorite things.
Yes, anger is good.
Okay, I don't know where you got off on this thing tonight, Danny. Did you watch too much Star Wars before coming on tonight? Is that what happened? You watched the Mandalorian episode with Baby Yoda and the frog?
Fun fact: Disney Plus is being released on Brazil right now for the first time.
That is a fun fact.
Check it out, man.
Are you excited to be able to watch The Mandalorian?
No, I watched it for free before. I'll pay for now.
Piracy is wrong, Danny.
I know,
wrong.
But when capitalism doesn't do its job, you have to do it yourself.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, those Disney shock troopers that are about to bust down your door are probably gonna have a different
I don't know
story.
if you want to be admitting this.
Oh, so these are the guys that are knocking on my door right now. No, but seriously, why took it a year to launch this thing on here?
I don't know.
What are you asking us for? What do we look like?
I'm sure it was some kind of rights issue, whatever. I don't know.
No, because when you watch the actual episode, since season 1, there was like Brazilian Portuguese subtitles on the credits.
No, they're making the sub trust me, as somebody who previously worked in post-production, that stuff's being sent to post-production long before they know what the distribution strategy is going to be. They knew they would need it eventually.
Danny, are you telling us that like some of the networks you don't get out there? Do you not have like Peacock or Apple Plus? Well, you don't use Apple, but
probably don't have Peacock yet. I don't know.
No, there are some things that there are on America and it's not here. That's
Netflix is
very
definitely
common.
there because they make
Netflix.
They make a lot of Brazilian originals. I've watched some of them.
Yes, there are Brazilian.
Yeah, there's Brazilian.
Original,
I watched one. Oh, I don't remember what it was called. I watched one where it's like set in this like dystopian future where there's this like surveillance state, and everybody just kind of like accepts it, and it's like they have all these drones that are like these little insect-sized drones that spy on everybody.
What are we talking about?
There's this Brazilian.
As a Brazilian filmmaker, I'm sorry about that.
I've watched 2. I watched another one where there were these doctors that get sent into the Amazon to go deliver this like vaccine to all of these like remote tribes that don't ever interact with like the official government. And they get to this one village and it's being controlled by this like crazy cult that's run by this guy who says he's like a mystic healer, but so the doctors, they basically like take them hostage, like you can't leave, and they keep them there, and they try to force them to like join the cult. But then it turns out that the healer has like real powers, like he heals one of them, and that was the end of season 1. And I did not.
Okay. There are some realities on. There are actual, because this was one of the first conversations I ever had when I joined this space. Yes, there are some tribes on Brazil that have never touched civilization. I was joking, but that is actually true. There are tribes that when they see a helicopter in the Amazon forest, they think it is a fucking demon. It is true. If they have actual powers, I don't know.
We're talking about a television show, not reality. We're just saying there's some good content coming out of your parts of the country, and honestly,
I was just saying,
they never hired me.
I'm just saying I know there's Netflix in Brazil because there are Netflix Brazilian originals.
I want to see that surveillance one sounds good. Are any of these appealing to you, Ryan, as pitches? One being a surveillance state in Brazil, and the other one being about somebody in the Amazon with superpowers.
The surveillance state one, it was really about this woman who goes, it's like everybody just kind of accepts this this surveillance state in the show. It's not like protested. It's like this is just how it works. And then this one woman gets a job working for the tech company that makes the drones. And it's while she's there that she starts to realize like it's corrupt and horrible. And so then it's like she's going to join the resistance or whatever. So it becomes that kind of a thing. Like it's like a 1984, but like a YA
like that.
1984.
That sounds like a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah, it was totally Black Mirror sort of inspired. And the big thing was about these little like tiny drones and how they work. And they really thought out how they would follow you, and everybody has their own individual one that follows them. And if you're out of the zone for more than so long, you know, they send others to come find you, and it was all worked out.
Well, that sounds fascinating. That sounds like it sounds like it's like the things like the what's it called, the My Dark Materials, but instead of demons, they're drones.
But
Sort of,
good
yeah.
Brazilian cinema is made by Danny.
That one was called Omniscient. The
Omniscient.
surveillance tiny insect drone one. So
What's the
Okay.
title in Portuguese?
yeah, they're both in Brazilian Portuguese, but you know, I think they have a dubbed version. They definitely have subtitles.
Yes,
That's
they
how I
have.
watch them. But they might also have dubbed versions in English.
Guys, we want to get on to a game that we have tonight that we made just for Ryan, just for Ryan's benefit. It has something a little bit to do with screenwriting and pitching, which is now, I think, one of my favorite activities that I learned that I love to do during this quarantine is I love to pitch things. I like having big ideas and not having to get into the minute details of how this would actually be executed. So what we're going to be doing is sort of manufacturing this a little bit backwards today. We have a couple movies that already exist, and we're going to go around and pitch them in the most boring way possible. You know, you've all seen those like Facebook prompts that are like, pitch us your favorite movie, but do it boring. And I never guess them. I never know what people are talking about. People will be like, a man takes a long walk. And I'm like, that could be so many movies or no movies. I don't know. But we're going to try to do it knowing what the movie is. And we're going to go around and try to pitch a boring version of it. So let's see. Do we got our first movie? See, we got that going up. Okay.
Oh, I know this movie.
You want to take a shot, Danny?
Yeah, it's about a guy that doesn't know his identity, and then he discovers his true purpose of life. That describes every synopsis of every movie ever made.
Okay, so I guess you don't need to do the rest of these. That sounds pretty good, though. I think I got one. This is about a guy from Wilmington, Delaware, who. Yes, this is about a guy from Wilmington, Delaware. Hold on, who's decides to turn away from the corporate capitalist consumer culture and make a new life for himself with the help of his girlfriend and best friend in support groups. Does that work?
Yeah.
Co-starring Meatloaf.
Yeah. A day. He goes by Meatloaf a day in this more serious role.
Okay. What about you, Lon? What do you think about this film?
I would say an insomniac makes soap and talks to himself.
Wow. That's very
Pretty much
succinct.
What happens in this?
That's how you spoil your movie.
But then you shoot it like zoom, 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 where you like zoom through the pipe and up and then out and then into the air conditioner and then out and then the bomb and then you go over and then you go like that way and then down.
What about you, Ryan? You got any ideas for how to pitch a boring version of Fight Club?
I think it's the heartwarming tale of a man going through his midlife crisis, discovering that the strongest friendship of all is the friendship you have with yourself.
Whoa. Boom.
Wow.
And that's why Ronnie gets paid the big bucks, guys.
I'm getting paid for this?
Absolutely.
Okay, this changes everything. I'm on board. I'm excited. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay,
check.
let's see. We got another one of these? Let's get
You
it.
need a life crisis. He's like 27.
You kind of sound like Nightmind. Has anyone ever do you do a Nightmind impression?
That's my side gig. I don't get booked very often, but
I would
kids
love
parties
to have,
every once in a while.
You've got that kind of timbre in your voice where I kind of feel like I want you to describe an ARG to me.
Please like and subscribe and donate to my Patreon.
Oh my God, I hear it.
Right?
Oh my God, I hear it.
It's there.
Never seen us in the same room together.
But if you look into the background, you'll notice that the clocks are all turned to exactly 2:54 p.m. 2:54 p.m.
Yeah, that's
Okay, that was pretty good.
I mean,
That's
that's
pretty
the
good.
that's
That's the
the
cadence.
content. But
Nailed
if
it.
your voice and that content, I think it
You
would
have, to do
work
that,
really.
you have to do that thing where he chuckles lightly because he found something slightly amusing. Where he goes, yeah, there we go, there we go. And she eats a whole turnip.
It's very funny.
Anyway, guys, this next one, Ryan, since you just killed it on that last one, you wanna grab the reins with this movie, The Sixth Sense?
I think it's about a psychologist coming to terms with helping a patient realize that the invisible friends in his life are just as important as the real ones that he has. And that it's about accepting that the invisible forces that surround us are maybe just as powerful as the physical ones.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's pretty close. I think it's about a man, a psychiatrist, and a young boy who he can learn just as much from about love and death and life than that little boy can learn from him.
I like that middle word you snuck in there. Very relevant.
Yeah. That sometimes death means the biggest life of them all. What about you, Lon? What do you think?
I feel like this movie kind of was a pioneering moment in ghost movies. Like, this was when we introduced the idea that being a ghost itself would be really boring. Like, now we accept that. Like the Bly Manor Hill House version of being a ghost, or like the Others. But like, I think we used to imagine being a ghost would be like exciting and cool.
It'd be like Beetlejuice. Yeah.
And then this was like, no, you just do your job. You just keep doing your job, but you're dead now.
What am I gonna do today? I'm a ghost. I guess I'm just gonna go mess with it.
Just like go back to just doing my job, but like without any of the benefit. Like if you have a job, like that means like you have a place to stay. You can like go get drunk afterwards. You maybe have to have a friend at work. No, not when you're a ghost. You're just doing your job, and then you vaporize apparently.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Well, also it's that idea that you do your job, and for a year at least, for the year of this movie, no one listens to you, and like, you just get increasing.
Oh, so what? You're dead? Go to work. Who cares? Go to work. Just get out of here.
Just get out of here, ghost. What about you, Danny?
This movie is definitely a documentary about my life as a
documentary
child.
about your life. How's that?
I saw dead people.
You saw dead people.
Yeah,
well, that's not exactly what the prompt is, but I'll bite. What are you talking about?
On my religion, Candomblé, I'm considered an abiku, a child that see child ghosts.
Now, is this your religion says this, or is this you telling us like when you were a child you used to?
Yes, I saw it. I had a friend when I was 14 years old that died on a very terrible accident, and I saw his ghost.
Like is it one of those where it was like, and I don't, if this is sensitive for you, you tell me to screw off, but like, is this one of those things where it's like the moment that he died, you saw him? Or
No. It was like 2 years later.
2 years later, you saw him.
Where'd you see him?
It was on, because he died on New Year's Eve.
Okay.
And then like 2 or 3 years later, we are going to a friend's party for New Year's Eve.
So
and then
it was exactly 2 years.
Yeah, exactly, like 2-3 years. And then my friend was driving the car, and then I heard my friend, and then 3 moments later I saw him, and then my friend stopped the car, we turned back, and there was no one, but I saw him.
Did your friend see him?
Were you like, you saw him and you were like, stop the car, or you both saw it?
No, I saw it. He didn't saw it, but I saw it. No, because he was driving the car, so he wasn't paying attention. But I heard it, and then I saw it. It is one of the greatest experience of my life.
Were you scared?
Yeah, of course I was fucking scared.
Duh, Lon, he saw a fucking ghost.
Well, I didn't know. Did you think like, were you confused? Like, I don't know what. I've never seen a ghost, so I don't know how.
I never didn't either. But when I saw it, because
you have now, that's what I'm saying. I still.
There was many deaths on my family, but when my friend died, I was like 15, 16 years old, so it was a very tragic loss for all my friends on school and everything. But after I saw it, it was like, oh my fucking god, what the fuck is happening in this fucking earth? But even though I'm very skeptical about anything supernatural, I know what I saw. I did not use any drugs or whatever. I saw that person.
Yep. So Danny sees, I think Danny's the best. So Danny sees ghosts. Okay. Next prompt. We're gonna put a pin in that for a later episode. Yeah. We don't want to blow our wad on this.
I like this movie, by the way.
Alon, why don't you give a shout out for this one?
Okay, this movie is it's basically about wow. All right. It's such an exciting nonstop thrill ride. How do you make this movie sound boring? I think it's about how you should definitely not trust your spouse and any kind of faith in another adult person is a delusion.
No, let's see. I'm coming up with a pitch here. It's about a man and a wife separating and then reconciling when they realize the worth of one another, and they can't be whole without the other.
It's about a wife whose elaborate schemes ultimately bring her and her husband a lot closer.
Yeah, featuring a performance by Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, sort of like a remake of I Love Lucy, where it's like her her harebrained schemes. And she makes him crazy with her crazy schemes, but in the end, they come back. They find a way to come back together.
Yeah.
Like
sometimes couples spending some time apart actually brings them much closer together.
Exactly. I think that's what it is. A couple spends some time apart while she goes and rekindles a love from her childhood, and he spends some time with his sister and a bunch of material goods that he left out in the shed. And they become closer for it.
It's also about the pressures of being the subject of a popular series of children's books. I don't think this is really what Paddington is going through privately. We only see
when Matilda grows up.
Face, he loves marmalade. He's doing okay. He's got a family, but privately, the burden he's carrying is remarkable.
When Matilda grows up and she's not able to live her life outside of the public eye, I do love how in this movie it does like that whole Amazing Amy subplot is so funny because it's like as if anyone cares who the plot of like a child's book is based on. Like you wouldn't be recognized on the street.
You are right. It's silly, but I also love it because of the specificity of it. Like it's a novelist thing, not a screenwriter thing. A screenwriter thing would be like, it's got to check these 3 boxes, her backstory, and like, okay, that works. It's definitely a novelist flair to be like, she was the subject of a series of popular children's books. Like
I love the novel Gone Girl. I loved it so much that at the time I brought my husband to a screening of Gone Girl just so I could watch his face the entire movie. I was just like, I remember halfway through the movie, around the halfway part, he turns to me and he wasn't a big fan of horror movies, but he turns to me with this look in his eye and he's just like very proud of himself. And he goes, Is this supposed to be a mystery? Because I think the husband did it. And I was like, Like he was so smart. He was so proud of him. He's like, I think I know who did it. I think it was the husband. And I was like, Just waiting for that shoe to drop. Like just waiting for that moment for her to show up in the car. I was like, yeah. Just look at him. Like, I'm like, that's, I see you. I would say, this is a movie that's about realizing that opening up one's relationship isn't as satisfying as staying in a conventional monogamous marriage. This is really a call to the old value system.
As with all
Jay. Hey, PLD. What about you, Danny? You got one for this?
Of course I have. This is another documentary about my previous relationship before I met Videodrew.
What? No. What? No. Wait, why? How? Wait, I'm actually interested. Go back. Tell me more.
When you were a crow?
When I was a crow, I met a beautiful owl that tried to accuse me of murdering her.
Yeah.
Even though she was alive and with Neil Patrick Harris. That's true.
Fascinating.
That's true. All right. At first I didn't believe you, but now that you've clarified that.
Yeah, of course it's true.
Okay.
Danny,
stories end with someone
as
saying
Lon
it's
knows.
true.
I'm not sure. Sorry, what'd you say, Ryan? I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt. I didn't mean.
Typically, most true stories end with someone insisting that it's true.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true. Yeah.
You guys want to hear A true story. One time I tried to ground girl myself in Hawaii, and then Lon explained to me several years later that that's probably not what I tried to do.
Definitely not. I'm almost positive that we deduced your actual stupid plan instead of your secret devious plan.
Let's just say I woke up with finding a bunch of bleached rags beneath the trash can, and they were bleached with blood, bleached out of like blood, and there was a potato peeler hidden under the couch, and there just seemed to be all the makings of somebody trying to Gone Girl themselves. But
Drew assumed she had been tempted to enact some sort of elaborate plan where she would like fake her own murder and then disappear, and then her husband would be
on Ambien. So I don't remember.
Okay, to be serious now, I love the soundtrack of this movie. To be very honest.
And I explained that I believe because you also told me there was some sort of mark on your side or whatever.
Yeah, I had like some sort of cut.
Yeah, and she was trying to like cut like a mole or a zit or something off of herself with the potato peeler, and cut herself and bled a little bit, and then cleaned up and was messed up on Ambien and didn't remember doing it.
So that's a really good movie.
So Gone Girl, everybody.
Gone Girl 2, Electric Boogaloo, the
and
Drew
also
edition.
Me as like Veronica Mars, like clever with the crime solving, because that's a lot of deductive reasoning I did.
All I need you to go back and tell a couple people and the police what your theory is, because
I kind of Nick Caged in National Treasure that mystery.
Okay, let's see.
Bold choice. That's quite an instrumented pick.
Right. Yeah, I mean, potato peeler was such a Baroque choice that I thought like it must be a murder weapon.
In a disordered, drug-addled mind, if you're trying to cut like a thing off your side, it does seem like that maybe would work. It would be better than like just a knife, I think.
Yeah, probably.
In a disordered, I mean, the better idea would be to not do this at all, but obviously that's not where Drew's head was at this evening. The evening question.
This is somebody saying this. For some reason, Eric said this is the best. This is Denis Villeneuve presenting his done pitch. Oh, I get it.
It's
done.
Right? See, it's a play on words.
The party Drew, guys. I do want to say that story doesn't paint me in the best of light, but I do want to tell it for one reason and one reason only, and that's to say that I really liked Gone Girl. I really.
That's why I laughed.
It's a good movie. Come on. It's a good movie.
I was like, well, we're doing it. All right. Well,
yes, the sister wanted to be with the brother. What's the problem?
You mean Margot Dunn, played by Carrie Coon? Yep.
Exactly. And you know what movie Rosamund Pike made? Doom.
She was in Dune?
Yes.
Doom.
The Rock movie?
Yeah, the first-person shooter movie.
Yes, the one that we don't talk about in the Doom community.
For some reason,
sometimes you go to Mars and there are demons there. That's a place.
They were not demons in the movie. That was the first problem.
Okay, we've got to move on. We've got to move on. Danny's going to be here all night.
Mars. That's consistent.
Okay. This one's going to be hard. Let's take a second. Let's think about what a good way to pitch a boring version of this movie is. A man discovers he's been on Earth the whole time.
Yeah, a man thinks he travels. An astronaut thinks he travels to a remote planet, but finds out he actually did not leave home at all.
I feel like even that is too interesting. That sounds like an interesting kind of movie. Let's see. A man discovers that. Let's see. What do you think?
The guy gets taken prisoner, but eventually he gets away.
Yeah. A man discovers that he's needs to learn to respect his animal friends. Right?
That's not accurate, though.
Okay.
He does kiss
them. They basically take him prisoner, and they don't understand him, and then he has a lot of like sort of philosophical Star Trek-y conversations with them. And, man
and ape continue to not understand each other.
There you go.
There we go.
That's really it. Yeah, it's really like, like if apes were able to act like us, they would end up just like us.
Like a Twilight Zone episode. Let's see. Could this be
Ryan looks like he disagrees with me about the theme of Planet of the Apes.
I just think from a broader perspective, it's really just about one man coming to grips with the fact that no matter how complex your life is, no matter what adventures you put on, ultimately the greatest adventures always bring you right back home. And I think that's
Yes.
just
Oh,
a little bit of catharsis
Yes.
at the end. I assume that's what he was feeling. A bit of a
yeah.
jubilation and
God,
Oh
that's
my
really
gosh,
good.
I was wrong.
That was that's it. It was
That's
Earth all
Stop the
along.
Planet of the Apes. I want to get off from The Simpsons, the brilliant musical.
Can I play? What's the line about playing piano? Can I play the piano anymore? Of course you can. Well, I couldn't
Well, I
before.
didn't before.
Do you know
Dr.
how to
Days?
play a piano?
I have to hold it. No, it's I used to play piano when I was a kid, and then I quit when I was like,
Wait, is this for real?
yeah.
Planet of the Apes was written by Rod Sterling.
Yeah.
No.
No.
I was thinking she was asking if it was real that you played the piano when you were a
It's based
child.
on a novel, isn't it? I think it's based
Wait.
on a... Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna have to
based on a
Google that
book.
real quick.
Oh no, he's right. It's Rod Serling wrote the adapted screenplay. It is based on a
Holy
novel.
shit! That makes so much
Wow.
sense.
Yeah, that is true.
That makes sense because trying to describe the plot of this in any way, shape, or form makes it sound like a Twilight Zone episode. Like
But
even when I
it
realized
is-
all this is
It
they've
is
been on
him
Earth the whole time.
adapting somebody else's concept, but yeah.
right
Sure.
now PJ is just angrily scratching out a Schmoedown question he wrote.
Those bastards.
Damn it, they figured it out. Wait, that is so awesome because I never thought about it like that. But of course, I think that even in a game, I'd be able to reason that out, like deduce that out. Because yes, the whole plot of Planet of the Apes is to discover that they've been on Earth the whole time, which is literally the plot
It's a
of
very Sterling-y twist for sure.
60% of Twilight Zones.
Yeah. There's a lot of we thought we were on an alien world, but it's just Earth. Ah, there's a mole there. No, it's like we already ate our crew member. Ah.
Did you
I think
think
one
this
of-
thing was different? It was actually the same.
There's also
You know
a
humans?
great one.
You know humans? Biggest
There's a
monster
great-
of them all.
There's a great one I watch where it's these guys and they pull this. Their plan is they're going to pull this robbery, but there's no way to spend the cash afterwards. People will be looking for them, so they pull the robbery. They take the loot. They go hide in a cave, and like they found a way to like go to sleep for 100 years, and then they'll wake up in the future, and then they can spend the money. Which is, by the way, a stupid plan because inflation, the money they still, who knows what it's going to be worth or if that's going to be currency or like whatever. Like you don't necessarily guarantee that your money.
Did they not think about how the money was going to be hot before they went and robbed a bank?
Well, no. This was their plan in advance. Was like we steal it and then we go sleep for 100 years, and then we wake up and we're rich, and it's the future. So they wake up and they go out of the cave, and there's no way to get around. It's just like a barren desert. It's like, humanity's destroyed the earth. There's no civilization anymore, whatever. And so they're like carrying the money, but it's the desert. They're running out of water, and like one by one they start to drop dead, fight and whatever. And then one of them is like, begs, like sees like somebody traveling in the distance and like begs them, and just he like barely can choke out, like, please, you gotta help me, like pass out. And then they look at him and they look through the bags, and you realize it's present day, and it's like it's not the future, and like these idiots they thought it was the future, but they just went to sleep and the thing didn't work, and it's like still the present day, and they're just morons.
Did they not realize that they were sleeping in a desert?
And they just thought, they just didn't realize that it was like they hadn't planned ahead well, and like their car broke down or whatever, like it got
Wait, did they not recognize the local terrain though? That's my question. Is they didn't realize?
That's the twist. Is like like they thought everything looked like empty, and it was just like they got turned around and ended up wandering through the desert.
That's first of all, that's great. I still can't get over the fact that Planet of the Apes was written by Twilight Zone's own Rod Sterling. One of my favorite shows. Growing up, not today. That show is just okay. I am interested in seeing that one Twilight Zone of the new group that's directed by our dudes, Lon, Justin B. Henson and Aaron Moorhead. They directed an episode. They directed an episode with
Justin Hamilton.
And
Justin Hamilton. No, it's the one with Joel McHale from Community. I think it was like a season 2.
I watched a few of the new ones, but I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch that one because we love those guys, the Synchronic, the Endless guys.
Synchronic was fantastic. I loved it.
Really gave me some new perspective on Anthony Mackie and Jamie Dornan's abilities as actors. Let's
fall, though, Jimmy Turner was great in the fall. Also,
Never saw it.
It's good. It's great. It's really good.
Do we got another one of these, Sean? Let's see if we got a couple more.
Wow.
By the way, guys, thanks for sticking around. Please like and subscribe. And if you are a Patreon, then we will be having our after show right after this episode over on Zoom. So please join us for that. Yeah. Danny, how about you take this one?
Well, to be very honest with you, I have no idea from what this movie comes from. This photo.
Really?
No. It's a classic.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm young. I'm a young boy that was once a crow alone.
That's true. I guess you were a crow when this movie was big. I'll take this one. This is a guy makes up a bunch of funny stories about his best friends.
I think it's a case of a rightful like a rightful collar, it's the opposite of a wrongful collar. This is a policeman collar the right suspect.
Yeah.
That works. Yeah. Policeman bring it into the precinct the man who committed the crimes.
Detective learns to actually do detective work instead of just believing the random anecdotes told to him by a criminal.
Yo! Damn, Ryan is too good at these. To actually learns how to do detective works instead of the random anecdotes being told to him by a criminal. Perfect.
I also know I also know how Kevin Pollak would describe it, which is like it's about a one lonely auto mechanic and his four no good friends who drag him in to a situation way over his head.
Now, Denny, having described this, would you know what the movie is?
Yeah, it's about 5 friendly friends. They are trying to discover the wonders of the world.
Yo,
Completely
Chris
wrong.
Adams with The Real Truth, the best episode of Among Us ever.
Oh my god.
Kevin
In a
Spacey's
world
pretty
where
tough.
everyone is sus.
Pretty sus, yeah. Director also. This is like a lot of suspicious behavior around this entire film.
Yeah. Literally the least sus thing is that there's no teen boys in this film whatsoever.
Wait, is that Sam Levine?
Consenting adults.
Yes, this is Sam Levine. You've gotten there.
Okay.
Not
I know that guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not involved in the production. Although good friends with Kevin Pollak, so there you go.
My God, can you stop saying that you know Kevin Pollak? We get it.
At all. I didn't say it once.
Wait, Chris Adams with the perfect answer too. The Usual Sus.
Oh wow, there you go.
Wow.
By the way, SUS is the name of the public health system in Brazil.
Oh my God, I hate learning all these things about a new country.
I once sold a bunch of DVDs to Benicio del Toro.
What do you mean?
Is there more to that story?
True story.
Yeah, like come on, come on.
More of this. All right.
Benicio del Toro works very closely with this a bunch of schools in his native Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
I believe it's Puerto Rico. And so he wanted to send them. He found out that a bunch of these kids, they had DVD players, but it was hard for them to get their hands on a bunch of like DVD movies. So he came into the store. He was just pulling a bunch of stuff off the shelves, just that he wanted these kids to see. And we were, helping him gather stuff. And it took like, 30, 45 minutes. And then he had us we shipped it for him. And so it seems like a good guy, Benicio del Toro.
Lon, I need to know, what movies does Benicio del Toro think are appropriate for children?
Apparently it's like the schools, or it's like elementary through like high school. So some of the stuff, there was like PG-13. I don't think we picked out a lot of like R-rated stuff, but no, it was a lot of, like AFI top 100s and classics, like a lot of classic Westerns, a lot of classic dramas, like courtroom drama type stuff. I think he just wanted, these kids to have just like a broad library of movies, like great movies they could check
Sounds
out.
like he's training somebody to beat me in Schmoedown.
It didn't, right. No, it was very much like if you were going to prep somebody who was like pretty cold on a lot of classic movies and like, through the 90s, this is the kinds of like basic stuff that you would.
Courtroom dramas? No, thank you.
Bent in like one particular direction. Not a lot of horror, probably not a lot of action, but other than that, I think pretty general.
Yeah, you heard it here first. The next season, the Schmoedown, Benicio del Toro definitely fielding a team.
Yeah.
10th
Yeah,
season
definitely. He's
Schmoedown.
gonna be a manager. 10th
Yeah.
manager.
Training
You know
them
who
for
else?
years.
You know who would be amazing and like I don't know how to get in
If
touch
you
with
play
him
Kevin
or
Pollak,
anything.
I'll fucking shoot you in the head.
I'm not going to say that. I was going to say Glenn Danzig because he used to come into the video store and the guy is like insane film knowledge, crazy
Whoa.
archival,
Danzig?
especially horror. Like he's an expert in horror, but like could comfortably talk to you about just about any genre.
Didn't Danzig just make a horror movie like 2 years ago? Last year?
Veronica, he did.
Isn't it terrible?
He's a great guy, and he would be terrific on the Schmoedown, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
We
sure.
don't have
Sure.
We don't have
And
to
I haven't
like,
seen
I did see his film, but a really cool dude, and a guy would be awesome on the show. Like I think could actually be competitive.
If Danzig showed up, I would have some real competition for scariest person in the Schmoedown.
Yeah, no, and like is very intimidating in real life.
We're sorry. Now we're just naming other people we want to have in the Schmoedown being managers. Toro's Troop. I'm guessing that's
these would be, like also Guillermo del Toro used to shop at our store sometimes, and would also be great on.
So you know Guillermo del Toro as well?
Yeah, well, I would. Do I know him? Like I met him a few. I have a DVD of Devil's Backbone that he like drew a little cartoon in for me and signed. So that's
Oh,
he's a very nice.
Spina del Diablo. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so we have another one of these. Sean, I want to see how many we can get through because Ryan's just killing this. Okay, so this is okay. I see what movie this is. Ryan, I feel like you can have a good one with this because it is one of those ones where it can just be and finds out that the true something was the something along the way. This is a real. A man learns to look inside to find the cause of his unhappiness.
You can't really trust others until you learn to trust yourself. I think
there we go.
Takeaway here.
There we go. Damn, Ryan, you should do this for a
How
living.
he does that?
It's the same pitch every time, guys. That's the magic.
This is a story about a guy that discovers his true self.
I'd rather the Schmoedown gain Zandig than Danzig. I don't know what that means. Who's Zandig?
Yeah, I don't know who Zandig is either.
Is that like the guy from Street Fighter? I mean, Zangief?
Zangief? That's Zangief.
Zangief.
Also great. Would also be great on the Schmoedown. Bring some international flavor.
Yeah. A man grapples with the consequences of diabetes medication. Is that? I forget. Is that one sort of involved with
oh, yeah.
Scathing critique of our medical system.
Critique of our medical system.
Sammy Jenkins one.
Joe Pantalone learned that you cannot trust the guy that you're trying to con. That's a good one.
Yeah, I was going to say a man whose unfortunate brain damage causes him to distrust his best friend, Joe Pantoliano.
Yeah.
And what a shame. What a shame it is.
What's the chick's name? It's the chick from The Matrix. What is her name?
Carrie Ann Moss.
Carrie Ann Moss spits in Guy Pearce's drink and gets away with it.
Yeah. Trinity. How dare you?
How about destigmatizing tattoo use as a way to express yourself?
That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
Picked up that whole subgenre of people with a lot of tattoos that aids in the storytelling. Isn't there that blind spot?
Is that the Jamie Alexander one?
Yeah, show where she's got like clues to all sorts of murders tattooed on her. There was one. I feel like there was one other. My tattoos are a guide to this thing.
Waterworld. You're thinking of Waterworld.
Oh, there is a one. Yes, you're right. That the back tattoo is like the map to dry land. You're absolutely right.
The mariner needs to find this out. Okay, so wait, I think I got it. It's a heartwarming story of a man learning to overcome.
You just like pulling that Waterworld knowledge.
Yeah, it's because Tom got it as a question. Once upon a time.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
No, sorry. So I was going to say this is a story about a man, a heartwarming story about a man who overcomes his short-term memory loss and continues to function in society. That
technically speaking does function in society.
Yeah.
Not a great function, but technically a function.
I mean, he still goes around. He drives a car.
What is society, by the way?
What?
What is society, by the way, nowadays?
I don't know, Danny. really with the deep commentary over here. I haven't stopped rubbing my face with this brush for like 20 minutes, even though I don't think there's any makeup anymore. It just feels real soothing. It's like ASMR, but like tactile vision.
You know
Is that
I'm
thing
amazed
itching
about-
for you on your face?
It's what?
Itching in your
It's not
face?
itching. It just feels nice. Let's see.
Do you think it's possible to find a promotional photo still from a Christopher Nolan movie where a person's not wearing a suit? I love that he's made wearing a suit not just his personal, but his cinematic trademark. It's like everyone must be suited at all times.
Yeah. I think
Like,
that's it.
Dunkirk was his first time where it's like, I guess maybe not all these guys. Like
They can't, but they're wearing uniforms, which are kind of like suits.
right. But that's the only exception. I was just about to say the only exception is but uniforms. Okay, a uniform is sort of like your military suit. Okay,
I'm trying to remember the following. Did they wear suits in the following? Yeah, they're like little.
Absolutely, they do. And I would just like to note that the Prestige, the one time you would think, well, maybe magicians they would dress flamboyantly. They do not. They just wear suits.
Okay.
He's just like you're gonna be in a Chris Nolan movie, you wear a goddamn suit. It's like we're going to space. Space suits. One step ahead of you.
Okay. Wait, so Danny, do you even know which one this is? Batman wears a bat suit, that's true.
Yes.
Mr. Short-term memory.
And when he doesn't, and when he's not in the bat suit, you know Bruce Wayne is wearing a suit.
Yeah, it's for a fucking momento.
Give me a break, man. Two-Face is wearing a suit.
Two-Face is
Do you have a suit, Lon?
He's a professional clown. He's wearing a suit.
Lon, do you have a suit?
Great question.
I own a suit? I own 2 suits, my friend.
I never saw you with a suit.
We have only known each other since there's been a quarantine. Where am I wearing a suit?
I don't know, for the awards.
The awards.
Yes, the awards.
Somebody's pointing out that Interstellar spacesuits.
Spacesuits. Still a suit.
Not wrong.
Yeah.
Bat suit.
Bat suits. Spacesuit.
Spacesuit. Listen.
Does Bane wear a suit? Bane has like a vest.
He's got a little.
Yeah,
harness.
Bane, like, especially when he's like, if you're living in a hole, you don't need a suit. Like
I do like the idea in Inception that you would need to wear a suit in your dreams. I'm not sure about you guys, but like in my dreams, I'm never like wearing a tux.
They're all no PJs in the entire movie Inception, even though they're asleep for like 98% of it. Not a single jammy jam appears in the entire film.
That movie really implies that they're deciding to wear suits in the dreams, right?
Yes, they are. They are absolutely.
I can pick any clothes I want. I'm gonna wear.
They are in 100% control, and they're opting for it to be full suits.
That's the theme of the Christopher Nolan filmography.
Links, total the whole package.
Eames is the character. That's the Tom Hardy character, correct? Who's able to. He's the forger.
Yes.
That means he can do whatever he wants in dreams. That means he can change himself to look like anybody. He can do whatever he wants.
He's the guy like, can impersonate, say, Tom Berenger if the situation calls for it,
Yeah. Nobody's wearing short sleeves. Nobody's going around in that.
Nobody's like Hawaiian shirts, nothing. Full suit, tie, done up. I'm going into a business meeting ready.
I like suits.
Ski adventure in fictional Alps.
Do you like suits, Danny? Why is that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, they look nice.
I've never seen you wear a suit.
Yeah, fair enough.
Brazilians don't wear suits. Come on, you know
Brazilians wear. Brazilians must occasionally wear suits.
No, we don't. Against our laws.
It's just floss style bikinis. That's it.
Exactly.
That's. I've been led to believe that's all that's being worn.
Wait. I'm looking at the following now to make sure. You're right.
The men are in black tank tops with like a bunch of silver necklaces, one of which is a large cross. If the Fast and Furious franchise has led me to believe anything, that's
everything in the Fast and Furious franchise is true.
I mean, Fast 5. That's got to be a point of pride for your nation.
Yeah,
it's not only the
Besides the fact that none of that was shot in actual Brazil, but
a little bit, like 2% of it. They do have a few shots where it's like, remember the big Jesus statue on the hill? There it is.
Oh, come on. Everybody loves big Jesus.
And the favela chase is really through some of them. They really did some of that there.
Are we talking about City of God?
No, Fast 5.
Fast
The-
Five, yeah.
The best Fast and Furious film, a big chunk of it is set. He's right that most of it was not filmed there, but it's all set in Rio.
You
Which
know
one's
what
Fast
was
Five?
filmed there?
Fast Five's the
Expendables
one
1.
where they go to Brazil and they're going to try to bring down that like the drug lord, and they end up stealing from all of his safe houses all of his money at once. And it
Always the
culminates in that
drug lords.
And it culminates in that big chase where they're towing the vaults behind the cars and
Oh,
like
it's the vault
wiping out
one.
whole sections of the city. Yeah, the vault one.
Okay,
Yeah,
guys,
totally
we
drug
have
lords.
2 more of these before we're gonna wrap up for the night.
It's
And
the one
again,
that
thank you everyone for
introduces
sticking around.
The Rock to the series. It's the first one with Hobbs.
Wow. Lon,
Yeah.
I know that you can do this one because you just did the honest trailer for it, and there were some
did.
great descriptions. What was one of the descriptions you guys did? Show a movie that shows that even Black people hate spending time with their ashy relatives.
Right. Yes. Well, thank God we have Danielle Radford on our writing staff who can come in and write a line like "ashy relatives," which would
That
not
was
occur to
a
me.
perfect line. And wait, and her parent and your parents' terrible work friends. Because
Yeah, I mean, right. That was one of the observations we were making. Is like we're finally getting to a point where there's enough Black filmmakers and enough films about Black families that we're getting to, the universality of these experiences. Because before there would be like one movie about a Black family per year, and you had to like pack it full of everything you wanted to say, and it had to be like they're kind of standing in for everybody. And Us is one of these. It's just like a one-off. Like it's not like this movie is speaking to the Black experience in America any more than it is just like a horror movie about
It's like
what
a
if you had
metaphor, yeah.
creepy double.
I think it's like a metaphor.
There
there's
is a lot of no, for sure. It's a malleable metaphor. Like it could be about a bunch of different things.
Yes, absolutely. Like it could be about how Tim Heidecker was in my does a really great impression of Jack Torrance.
He does.
Wait.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what like it's different from Get Out, because Get Out I think is like a satire of like kind of a specific set of things, whereas Us is like it's just kind of a weird, interesting horror movie.
We got a donation from NerdChronic. Hold on. Who said, "Love seeing Ryan on. Always appreciate his creativity and patient or positive attitude." I read patient because I see what I want to see, but also positive attitude.
Hello, Eric.
See you at work on Monday, Eric.
Yeah,
See you on Marvel.
See you on Monday, Eric.
Oh my goodness. So thank you for bringing
So-
that to the table.
Sorry, let me just say this else. Gosh, how does this go off? Okay, there we go. Ryan, do you have a boring description of the movie Us?
I think this is a film that teaches us the very valuable lesson that eating food at a boardwalk amusement park is always going to end in a bad time.
Yeah, fair enough.
Very true.
Fair enough. Let's just say it's about the long, hard look you take in the mirror and realizing that you're not quite the woman that you thought you would be. Something like that. We got something there.
I really think it's about an elaborate government financial bureaucratic sinkhole gone horribly awry. Like this government program is just, if you want to make like the Republican case for like wasteful government spending, like how did they even clear the kind of budget you
It's like
need
this
to-
and Cube are the 2 movies that are just sort of like making the good point that maybe the government shouldn't have like the budgetary funding.
Wait,
Yeah.
you want to literally clone every single person, and then we're
Not only
gonna
clone them,
build
but make it so they
facility to contain them all.
Yes, this is the one true attack of the clones.
And they're gonna
Wow.
eat
Randy with his
rabbits.
first great take of the evening. Coming in
What
late,
do
but
the rabbits eat?
Hey, come on. First,
down there. What are you
Wait.
doing with their poop? And like what? And like what happens when people leave the country? And I just don't feel like anybody was thinking this through at all. Of course,
I
this
also don't
project
understand
was
how
abandoned.
they managed to like the people down there would like somehow manage to meet and marry the people that they would have to marry from up there, but then also have like give birth to the children that they were giving birth to
But
up there.
imagine, think about the world of online dating. If I'm talking to someone in Cleveland and we decide to meet up, how do our doppelgangers find one another? They're not online. They've got to just hope they meet up. in this one friggin' corridor. Like, how? What? It's not even taking into account 3-dimensional space down there. Like, what happens when you get into an airplane, or what happens when you go up way high in a building and there's people who are in the same place? Like, what? I just like, and what? So when they abandoned the whole place, they just left all the doors open and the people don't wander out. And
because the escalators.
There's so many questions. Like, really, honestly, I do feel to break from this for a moment. I actually feel I like this movie, but I feel like it would be better if it just left it completely unknown where the tethered came from. Like,
if you found them in the basement and there was no exposition dump.
Yeah, I would just like, you don't need any of that. Like, it's creepy and weird and I accept it. And I'd rather not have to be like, but where did they get the scissors? Like, I'd rather not have to, I don't want to do that. Don't make me do that by like almost explaining it, but then not really explaining it.
So
like,
anyone else have some grievances with us?
Kind of the same thing. Like in Get Out, where there's the brain surgery, but they don't dwell on it so much. And so I'm like, okay, fine, I accept it.
Danny? Danny?
We can't hear you, Danny.
It's only muted.
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Okay. Like I said, this movie is the true and the only one Attack of the Clones.
Yeah,
very true.
They do.
Very true.
I believe that was a pitch for the honest.
That was as exactly pitch.
Yeah,
a chilling allegory about the prison industrial complex and its inadequate failings as an institution in American culture. See, I'm already going to bed hearing that pitch. That sounds like a Ken Burns documentary.
Very good.
I like Michael Moore documentaries.
Yeah.
Drew, you'll think this is funny. One of my other pitches for the honest trailer title for us was Double Impact.
I hate that. That's one of the
Here, I'll read you. I don't think any of these got in, but I actually think it was like we came up with something else together. Double Impact, Get Out Again, Twin Beach.
Attack of the Clones is what you guys ended up with, right?
Yes, I believe Attack of the Clones is the actual honest trailer title. Twin Beachman, The Boardwalking Dead. Oh, there you go. The Boardwalking Dead. Family Splatters, and Gemini Fam. Gemini Fam is pretty good.
Fam is great. What was the Twin Beachman?
Well, because there's impeachment, but yeah, Twin Beachman, because it's about she meets up with her twin on the beach.
I thought you were doing like Twin Peaks, and I was like Twin Beach.
Sort of.
Yeah, I like that.
Really. Almost. It didn't quite get in. They ended up going with a spaghetti joke, which is funny. But I also,
they did a spaghetti joke. They did the spaghetti joke when it was
the final one they went with for Tim Heidecker starring was spaghetti, which is funny. But mine was I give it 5 bags of popcorn, but he has a double, so technically it would be 10 bags of popcorn.
Or as Eric is saying, it's definitely a popcorn classic.
Exactly.
Okay,
I wanted to do an On Cinema joke, but they thought that was too inside, so we went for a Tim and Eric's Awesome Show joke instead.
I mean, On Cinema is very inside, but then again, like you have to be if you're part of the Victorville Film Archive.
Yeah, exactly. It's like as a total Greg head, I feel like we need to just go totally inside.
My brain has so missed watching more On Cinema that it started making up episodes. I had a 3-episode On Cinema dream last night that lasted like for 8 hours. And
I mean, have you gone back and watched all of Decker? Because otherwise, don't talk to me because you've got a lot more to get through.
I'm on Decker Port of Call Hawaii.
Yeah. Okay. So you've still got more content to watch. You're not done yet. Yeah.
Okay. And I think we're on our last one. The last thing I'll say about the On Cinema is that I think one of the funniest tweets I saw, it might have been yours, Lon, was like the part of the, it was yours. It was like the part of the presidential race where it's starting to look like, and then it was just a picture of him running for district attorney.
Yeah, district attorney. Yeah, exactly.
Really good. Real strong work. Okay.
Problem.
Oh, really?
Gotta have it.
That's on this damn show again.
Let's see. Okay, so a millionaire has to clean up his city after his own company is found depositing chemicals into the water supply. It's like a dark water story. You're nodding your head here, but let's see.
I was just gonna say a parade hating billionaire ruins a local clown's fundraiser.
Wow. Wow. That's solid. Yeah, I would say like
Soundtrack provided by Prince.
Yeah, I was about to say, a wealthy billionaire hates Prince.
Yeah, hates Prince. I do like one thing I always appreciated as I got older and went back and watched this movie is that Prince is so clearly aligned with the Joker, not Batman. Like the big song is Bat Dance, but the only time we ever hear Prince in the movie is when the Joker puts it on.
And he loves purple, and like he's very much flamboyant. Like also, I don't.
Party man, it's on his boombox that he's dancing to and playing, and then again we hear Prince at the during the parade.
I forget his name, and nobody kill me. I'll remember it by the time my Schmoedown match happens. But what's the name of the Joker in this movie? It's Jack Napier. I love how Jack Napier doesn't seem like he'd love Prince, but the Joker seems like he'd love Prince. Like,
we never hear he doesn't ever play Prince when he's just Jack Nicholson. It's only
that's character development.
Yeah.
Jack Palance isn't a huge Prince fan in this film. See, I remember something.
Yeah.
What about you, Ryan? What do you think about this?
I think along the same lines as you guys. A failure to properly redistribute wealth in a society inevitably leads to violence against the mentally ill.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Sad.
It's a deep film.
That's so solid.
How he does that? Come on.
That is so solid, Ryan. Honestly, like you've got a gift, sir. Like you honestly have a gift.
It's the only thing I'm good at. So unfortunately, nothing else is holding that up.
Look, I wish I had that ability to just on my feet just think of something like that. I can think of the pitches. I can't think of the backward like redistributing the logic of that. Yes, perfect. I want that on a shirt. A problem with redistributing the wealth leads to a man's crusade against the mentally ill. Perfect. Someone make that. Okay, so we have hashtag Team Danny here. I don't know why people are going Team Danny. Right now, we're not doing Team Danny, Team Sean, although it is the end of the night.
Bats,
Oh, because the bats. I see.
Right.
It is the end of the evening.
Bats,
We are getting to the end of our show, which means if you guys have any last thoughts, comments. Yeah, whoop boy.
Wow,
any
what's
thoughts,
happening?
comments, or ideas, please send them in and we'll read them out loud. And we'll also probably have Sean come in for a hot second and give us his analysis of this evening. Because let's see what we got going on. I'll bring him on.
Oh, damn.
Sean,
Good
where
evening,
are you?
everybody.
Hi. Are you in the White
This
House?
is my. Sorry.
Are you in the White House?
No, this is like my new office. I'm just, just chilling, relaxing, enjoying the show.
Chandelier in the office is a bold step, sir. Well done.
As a great producer that I am, you could afford certain things. So, it is what it is.
That's a power move. When somebody comes into the office, there's a diamond chandelier above their heads. It just lets them know.
There's also about 1,000 mirrors that are just looking like little. Are you on a boat? They look like there's a bunch of port mirrors.
I was thinking perhaps it's a morgue, like those would be pulled out and drawers for.
I don't want to relieve too much about my office. So
co-hosts who didn't work out on other shows.
Well, maybe, or there might be some surprises for people like that bird boy over there. If he doesn't fly right.
Wow.
Okay. So do you have any thoughts on the show this evening, Sean?
No, I just think Ryan has done a great job with the game tonight. Maybe he wants
truly
to, he should have his own show.
We should.
Maybe Ryan, one day.
Maybe one day. Actually, in fact, I think Ryan does have his own show. Ryan, do you want to tell us a little bit about where we can find it and where it is? My God, my vocal abilities.
The art of segue, am I right?
Yeah.
Smooth as silk. If you're interested in hearing a little bit more about our podcast, which is not too dissimilar from what we did tonight, you can find us at the website letswritepod.com or on any social media platform at Let's Write Pod. We do some fun stuff. Please check us out.
Awesome. And Lon, where can we find you? Thank you for joining us, Lon, by the way.
Always a pleasure, Drew. My pleasure. Find me on Twitter at LONS. That's where I update all the stuff I'm working on. But also, Hal Rudnick and I have our own podcast that we've recently started called Binge Boys, where we just yell and rant about streaming shows and movies that we've been watching. So check that out. That's on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever fine podcasts are downloaded.
And how about, let's see, Sean, you want to go, even though you just joined us, but I'd say, you've worked on the producer level, so come on.
Hey.
Yes, I've actually producing my own YouTube channel, which I've relaunched again. It's called Pop Culture Universe. So got a couple of shows on there that we're working on. So you guys can not only see me, a couple of other guys that I'm working with on there as well. So you guys can hop over there as well.
Awesome. And Danny, what about you?
You can always find me living the rooftops of my mistress here on Live in the Dark with the Videodrew, or at Let's Get Ready to Talk Schmoedown podcast, or at my new show with Lon Harris about Netflix, Brazilian Netflix. And check it.
Oh, see, that's going to undercut what I was going to say, because I did actually have an announcement for our people that me and Lon are actually starting a new podcast, and we need some help with some graphic design elements and some music stuff. So if you guys want to be a part of this and you want to help us out here, let us know. Let me know. Hit me up. Or because we've got an exciting thing coming up. I can see Lon being like,
No, I was being encouraging. I was like, yes, I'm excited about this thing we're working on.
We recorded our first episode. I will say that I won't say what it's about, but I will say it's about a TV show. Movie franchise,
and just general, like it's about us and whatever we want to talk about, but also through the lens of this one TV.
It's also about dreams.
Yes,
it's also a lot about dreams. So if you like hearing people talk about dreams, you'll like this podcast. So that's coming up soon. You can also find me here at Videodrew. This is my YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. We come here every Monday and Thursday. We do the VideoChronic pop culture quizzes at 9 p.m. where we take one movie and we ask 20 deep delve questions about it. You can win some money, so come on over to that. Tuesday, we do Cinema Bias here at 8 p.m. and that's me and Alex Mack sort of showing each other or having a fan come in and show us a movie that's been off of our radar, that's in our blind spot. Fridays, we do video karaoke on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Videodrew, starting around 9 p.m. But this Friday, we're actually doing something a little bit special, since it will be after the pay-per-view Schmoedown live event, in which I am the undercard. I'll be playing against Jen Kemp in the undercard match, I think starting at 5 p.m. Pacific time this Friday. So go check that out, because it is going to be worth it. It's the undercard for the Wildberries retirement match. So, of course, if you're not already in because I just said Videodrew, then you'll be in because I just said Josh McCouga.
Yeah. And I can't divulge what I know. There's a lot of drama behind this Wildberries retirement match. There's a lot.
Really?
The whole Schmoedown community is a Twitter over the outcome of this. It's a lot of eyeballs on this upcoming match.
No pressure. No pressure.
I'm just saying, Drew. The spotlight is on all of you on Friday.
Oh my god! Time to take an Ambien and Gone Girl myself.
That's a t-shirt.
Of course, right? And then you can also find me on my Patreon, which is we don't even have the little logo up. Hold on, sorry, I forgot to put this up this evening. I don't know what happened. Also, you can find me at. There we go. There you go. Perfect. Boop. It's at patreon.com/Videodrew. Then you can find a lot of fun things. We do training sessions basically every single day. We watch movies. We do a lot of fun stuff. We watched Captain America Civil War last night as part of our Patreon watch along. So that's really fun. So join us on that. And by the way, guys, we're having a Zoom meeting after this for some of our patrons. So if you're around, stick around and we'll be seeing you shortly. Otherwise, say goodnight, Gracie. I need you to say the thing.
Good night, Gracie.
Yay.